Welcome back, everybody, to Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. I'm Savage Hound Dusk. Today we're going to try to continue more of this game. Okay. I don't remember where exactly it is I was. Well, there's a crab there, but I don't want the crab. What? Oh, monster dead. That's the Pomor Steppe Everden. That's the Pomor Cape Everden. Okay, so I need to do the Everdens. I forgot to do them off camera. So we'll go explore these real quick. I want to pick up a Mizutsune because it's going to replace Edelgard. Back up here. Stormy. Oh my god, game! Oh my god. Like the ultimate failure. God damn it! Why am I so bad? Give me the bottle caps. Not the damn bottle caps. There we go. Another green Nargacuga there. Don't really know if I want to scrap with it right now, if I'm honest. Hey, look at that, we got some hot peppers. I do apologize to everybody. I've been trying to catch up on Rogue Trader in my spare time, among a few other things. I'm not interested in picking a fight with that Tigrex right now. There it goes, 6 bottle caps. I like how the Nargacuga is basically, if you don't want to have to deal with a lot of random encounters, use this monster. He'll solve that for you. And then just don't be stupid about how you weave around them. Excuse me, sir. That Ash Ketchup, watch out. And there is what I don't like is how hard poison is to come by in this game. It's very easy to come by poison as a status element. It is extremely difficult. poison is just not an status element in this game. Okay, going down there. Going up there leads to the egg nest. I actually want to go down here first so that I can make sure that I don't miss anything. Ah, there's a Rev in the building. Welcome to the stream, Rev. Man's here playing Wilds. At least Glock Mazios isn't real. I don't know how that became a meme, but apparently it did. Don't worry, this thing isn't real, this thing. And then somebody draws a cursed image of it being real. Oh, finding charms. Nice. Bottle caps as well. I want all the bottle caps. There's a lot of green Nargacugas around here. The Nargacuga went from being one of the rarest monsters in Monster Hunter stories to one of the most common fucking monsters. Hi! That's a Brute Tigrex. I can't explain to you how much I don't want to fight you right now. Because you trespassed and now it's angry. Damn it. Oh, good God. Oh, fuck. Now I'm fighting a Brute Tigrex. You can actually ride this monster. That is actually a thing. Oh, I can't run away from you either. Oh, this is win or die. Oh, unholy god. Okay. What are you about to do? You're about to do rock. Oh my god, that's at 111 damage. What the actual fuck? You hit like a freight train full of Doritos. Don't question how bad that analogy was. Is he about to hit my monster with rock shooting? Yeah. He likes throwing rocks. Ow! That does noticeably less damage when I'm on it, though. You default to speed when you're pissed, don't you? Yes, you are just like your cousin. And you double attack just like your cousin. Alright. I didn't like monsters being able to double attack in MHS 1, and I'm gonna say it now. I don't like it here either. It's cheating. Okay, video game? A monster being able to attack twice is cheating. And the level of damage output you're seeing right now, that's why. Okay, so he can now... this is why it's cheating. First of all, he does enough damage to rip off 3/4 of my monster's health in one attack. Second, he knocked me flat on my ass, injured my monster, and then insta-killed him. That's cheating. Why is the using power? I am puzzled. I don't, maybe because it's cooked and most of the nutritional value is gone, so it wouldn't. I legitimately don't. I do know that I had flash rolls and I forgot to use them because that's a good way to work against pain. I still think he's cheating. But whatever. He's a brute Tigrex, but shit! Yeah, no shit. That's my evasion. Chance. Damn it! You're blind! You should be missing more attacks than you're hitting. Plus I have an evasion bow. He is no longer there. I don't know why, but I kinda wanna play Demon Souls. And I say I don't know why because it was a good game. I had a fair bit of fun with it. This is probably stupid, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Let's bring out the Spartan. He tried to use multiple speed attacks. And he got fucked up for it. That feels good. Smack the fuck out of you with this tail. Ow! Oh my god! He does so much damage. Oh my god, he's dead! I did it! And I got an S rank somehow, beating the shit out of him like that. Because that makes fucking sense. Is this a brute Tigrex egg? It looks like it. Definitely looks like it could be. Please be a Sandberry-off egg. It won't be, but I want it to be. Leave the area.
Damn, get the fuck back here, shit.
Humble flying wyvern egg. Okay. Oh, I can't make any vital lessons. That's not good. I don't have any more to use either. Palamute tickets. Oh. Give me. Mine. All mine. 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 I can already hear those annoying fucking seagulls. Mine, 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 mine. Oh, how quickly I would murder them. Hey guys. Thanks for the might charms. I'm a sneaky little murderer, yes I am. Soapgrass. Why the hell do they call that soapgrass? Well, there's a Ruby Basarius while it's sleeping. There's a Diablos in here. Why is there a Diablos in this den? And no, I'm not running away from that monster out of fear. I now know exactly where the egg nest is and the final chest. I am now going to go the other way so that I can collect everything else before coming back here to grab that, so I can use the egg nest to speed run out of here. Why is there a Diablos in here? I really would have much rather another Gravios. I need Gravios materials. Also, I am angry that Green Nargacuga did not produce Green Nargacuga weaponry. I went very hardcore out of my way to invest heavily in Nargacuga equipment. There's no Green Nargacuga equipment in this game, and that upsets me. I want good critical hit gear, and the game just doesn't have it. I imagine it will have it later, but I wanted it now. And I fail to see why I can't make upgraded versions of Nargacuga sword and bow and whatnot when I have that stuff. Also, what the fuck? This is an incredibly small Everden. There's nothing. There's nothing here. Ah! Go the hell away. Fucking Nahabras. The Basarius woke up. Or Basarios, not Basarius. Seriously, why is there a fucking Diablos in here? I feel like there should be a different animal in here. My brain is stuck on it. Autism. Pick up a damn egg. I don't want to have to kill this Diablo. But I guess I have no choice. What? Really in love with his tail spikes. Hunters are masters of tracking monsters. Meanwhile, riders are far more mobile. Your skills complement one another. Actually, here's the reality to that situation. Like, that's been a story beat that's been bugging me for a while. Hunters are masters of tracking monsters. You would objectively, as a hunter, actually be worse at tracking, respecting, understanding how to deal with, and managing the behaviors of monsters than any rider would worth their salt. As to why that is, in case anybody is, is going to ask that question, why would a rider inherently be so much better? Let me explain. It's very easy. Riders do not just track monsters. They track them to their nests. They learn how to penetrate those nests. They learn how to steal eggs from those nests. And they learn how to fight and defeat angry mommy monsters in order to keep the eggs they get from those nests. Let's also supplement this with the reality that riders have a tendency to gather a collection of monsters and thus have intimate knowledge of the behaviors of a wide variety of monsters from first-hand experience, not just in their behaviors when they're fighting and foraging, but also in their behaviors when they are being social. This is something that hunters would only have at a distance, relatively. And, realistically speaking, because riders would know how to track monsters to their dens, in particular, they would also be, in my opinion, even better experts at fighting monsters into wanting to, and forcing them to want to retreat to their dens and knowing their retreat pattern behaviors. Because how else would you hunt and gather eggs in order to increase your collection or replace a monster that was killed when you needed another one to buy? A hunter's skills would actually be completely invalidated by a rider. Because virtually everything that a hunter can do, a rider can also do. The difference? They can do it better because they have a monster fighting alongside them, instead of either fighting alone or relying on a party of other humans. They are used to fighting alongside an animal. But they also work together with each other. Not just with animals, but also with their human compatriots. Who also ride their own monster, which is not always the same. They would be extremely used to and eager to manage and master various monsters at locales as they go. This means that rider tribes that come from various sections of the world would be specialized in understanding and assisting other riders in collecting eggs from other monster types, but would also know how to deal with those monsters in a way that wouldn't necessarily cause havoc to the environment. Again, being a rider is inherently superior. The only thing that a hunter would be better at is fighting alone. Why? Because some hunters go out and forage and scout and fight other monsters by themselves. That's perfectly reasonable. But if you want to talk about, like, individual combat prowess is also the only thing they would be better at. The only other thing they might technically be better at is combat ingenuity. Technology ingenuity, because riders would probably be using their monsters to rely on a wide variety of systems that hunters need technology in order to be able to... Yes, no asshole. Really, Liz? That's what you're thinking about? Like, that's the only thing. Like, hunters would be superior individual fighters. They would not be superior fighters in terms of working together, though, because working with an animal means mastering nonverbal communication, because, you can communicate to the animal verbally. The animal will not always be able to communicate with you verbally the same way. They would also be just inherently better at doing a lot of other shit. Nobody likes the smell of flaming feline or roasted rider. Okay, now we need those cool mists. Did I get what I needed in order to craft cool mist? I did. And all I need are chill shrooms in order to do this. Wow. Good thing I had a lot of those. The game is trying very desperately to justify the existence of hunters and riders working together. There really is no reason for hunters to not be completely replaced by riders. I sound like an asshole for that, I'm sure, but from a realism standpoint, it's the truth. No, there's not. It's not really that realistic. First thing I didn't see, I'm making potions. Son of a gun lance! There's a huge boulder blocking the way. You have a giant feline dog. I guess that exists to stop you from Turga Nitro shrooms that grow around here. Okay. I guess that that rock basically exists as a story check, so you cannot move through here until or unless you have actually acquired the feline. What are these little things? They're Urok-tors. Okay. I actually need the materials from the really big one. Liz is making potions. These guys don't take much damage from swords. What about a bongo drum? Yeah, they are weak to bows. Oh no, that might have hurt me if you'd actually hit me. Oh, nope, there was some blood attacks. Okay. The thing that hunters need to learn in general, realistically, in this series is communion with monsters. They know how to exist somewhat alongside one another, but they don't understand proper community and communion with the monsters themselves. Riders both should and would understand that fundamentally. And I get that they keep wanting to have the rider learn a whole bunch of shit. Here's my goddamn problem. They rarely ever get to actually teach the hunters something. And there'd be just as much of a hunter going, hey bro, you could actually learn to do this if you did that. As opposed to, as there would be a rider looking at a hunter and going, yeah, well, bro, here's the thing. If I did, if I needed to do that, I would, but I don't because guess what? I have this. And then they show off something their monster can do. And this is kind of where a lot of the game falls apart to me. Hunters are rarely ever actually being made to learn from riders. Riders are constantly being forced to learn from hunters, as though hunters are somehow the all-knowing. And I get that the series started out as Monster Hunter, but if riders have been around, according to... God, what is the name of the... According to Monster Hunter Stories 1, for centuries? And generations? Riders should have just as much to teach and to argue over. No, there's not, but Monster Hunter Stories 1 doesn't just imply, it basically flat out stated that monsters and Alterots? Oh, it's those little bug things. That monsters and humans have existed in their rider villages for generations together. And you're right. There's no clear timeline. There's absolutely no clear timeline. I'm not disputing that. But if that's true, then the riders have been doing this for multiple generations, likely a couple of centuries at least. The way that the chieftain fought. And that's kind of where my point is coming from. Why are riders constantly being made to learn from hunters? Because of their isolationism? Well, okay, fine, that's a reason, but the game doesn't really bother to go into too much of that either. Try to do this. Oh Lord, he coming! His wings require a bow. No. No. Listen to them roar. Hear their bestial pride. How dare you deny them their right to rule? Well, maybe you suck. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, my foot's gonna file in with your ass. Okay. I don't need luck, I have violence. Lord, he coming. At least I'm not like Rick Coffin and I hear a bunch of voices up there. Oh, look. No, sir. Rick Coffin does as well. No, Dempsey doesn't hear voices in his head. Just Rick Coffin and Dylan. Disturbing. Don't I have an ancient potion? I had an ancient potion sitting in here. I guess I don't. This is a problem. Edelgard, why are you using speed attacks against the mech? Good lord, honey, you are getting your ass kicked. go retreat to your den. I have a Ruby Basarius. I don't need another one. Gold Sprout. I need a Kelby horn? Why don't I have one of those? Again, I feel like I would have had one of these. Made a feline barrel bomb. Okay. I have a giant explosive. I have 2 giant explosives. Heart beetles? Why don't I ever have what I need in order to make sure? I have a shitload of heart restoratives, and I didn't even know that. I feel a little special. Not in a good way. Edelgard got the shit kicked out of her in here, so I'm just gonna not use her. She doesn't like the fire. She is an aquatic monster. 5,000 Zenny. Holy shit. I say that like that's actually a lot of money in this game, and it is not. You got to poor folk at me. Guess what I'm not? Yeah, but I'm good at it. You know, like every other fucking adventurer in a video game. Am I a hobo? Absolutely, but I'm good at it. That was actually... Have you seen Jack Reacher? In the Jack Reacher TV show, I saw a snippet of it. He's talking to this kid. This kid looks at him and he goes, and when he tells the kid that he's kind of a fuck up, and the kid looks at him and he goes, You're a homeless guy who lives out of his car. And he goes, yeah, but I'm good at it. He goes, you're not even good at a fight. What are you fucking talking? Also, Jack Reacher lives that way in that TV series by choice, not because he is incapable. I'm gonna kill you! Why is a monster that can shit noxious gas out of its butt somehow vulnerable to poison? I really feel like that makes no sense. I'm gonna pull out my gun. Because I got some steel that I gotta activate. Awakening! Ultimate guitar riff. He's poisoned again? Oh my god! Vigigame. Vigigame, stop! Stop poisoning my monster! Ow! Oh my god! Okay, the Eodromes both died. Or not the Eodromes, the Eoprey both died at once. Fuck you, Jimmy! Just so you know, I'm about to kick your motherfucking ass. I am done being a nice guy. I'm gonna beat your ass. Stop calling in your friends. I'm gonna kick your ass. The Eodrome died right after he called it back up. And now he's running away because his boss died. Oh, that was funny. Why did we get a B rank for that? Fuck you, game. I need all the fucking Eodrome and Eoprey stuff I can get dirty little hands on. Oh, hey, look. I can blow this up. Look, I can blow that up too. Doc would have loved this section. Fantastic, truly fantastic. I'm not gonna keep saying that, don't worry. Mostly because I could never get away with pulling that accent for longer than about 10 seconds before somebody probably wanted to dig their eardrums out. Hey Rotha, let's go pimp slap a Basarios. Oh, and you have friends! Some savage fireball on you. My gun rod. I wish this was an actual gun-loaded guitar. Because then I would be shooting bugs instead of just smashing them, and that would be awesome. I could play a guitar riff while popping off bullets, and that just sounds absolutely hilarious. But now I'm questioning why that wasn't done in the first place. Damn you, Capcom, you have let me down again. I say that endlessly. Fucking Dino Crisis! Remake it, you sons of bitches! Remake it! I would sell my soul for the opportunity to murder somebody just to inspire. No, if I sold my soul for anything involving the Dino Crisis series, I would sell my soul to have Dino Crisis 4 made and have it be a continuation of Dino Crisis 2 so that they could finally resolve Dino Crisis 2's cliffhanger that hasn't been resolved in 20 fucking years! No! Regina was an amazing female character and Dylan was a badass, god damn it! Give me a resolution! Fuck that. Did you see what happened to Kratos? I don't want... That's not any better! Why are you advocating for this? You're a horrible person. Yes. God damn. Rafa. No, not nearly. Oh. And you could have it all. My empire. I don't know why, but I can't ever forget that song after the really bad CG live action trailers of Prototype 2, where Mercer and Heller were basically trying to murder each other because Mercer was a douchebag. What do you mean it wasn't even Mercer? If it absorbed his consciousness, then that was honestly more than anything. Yeah, that was Mercer. It was probably a corrupted version of Mercer because one of the issues with that virus that I've noticed that I don't feel like the games touch on anywhere near enough to be appropriate is every time you absorb somebody or consume them, you consume their consciousness, their memories, and their essence. I want you to think for a minute about what that would do to your psyche, absorbing somebody else's life, and then sifting through it mentally. That would really fuck you up. So after a point, with that particular bit of knowledge in hand, you would be correct in that, yeah, no, that wasn't exactly Mercer. And that is because if that was actually Mercer, and just Mercer's consciousness, then I could say, you know what, actually, that might not necessarily have been him. But when you absorb the consciousnesses, the emotions, the feelings, the mentalities of other people, and you become consciously aware of that fact, yeah, no, that wasn't them. And, how much, sure, maybe that is you in that moment. How much of that stays you, though? Without getting corrupted or twisted by that additional consciousness in your head? That's my question. Like, how much of that is still you? And in that particular factoid, taking that in the way that you do, Rev, technically speaking, from the moment Heller gets infected, that's not Heller anymore. But for some reason, Heller doesn't lose himself to his infestation and infection quite the same way as Mercer does. Mercer develops a god complex, a really toxic one. What do you mean by that? No, his sister was not the queen of the virus. That was some other girl. His sister was trying to help him through the whole game originally. Because he finds her and tries to hold on to that piece of himself by trying to sustain that connection to his sister. And you're right, he does try to stop a nuke and it doesn't work out. He kind of ends up outright failing, in fact, to stop it. But what he does do is he manages to kill off the Supreme Hunter, so that the last of the rivals to him for control of the virus agents is gone, and that allows him to control the virus directly. The really big issue that he runs into after that is that he didn't really have a reason to become a... Okay, game. Alright, I'm really fed up with heavy spear as a technique now. You're done. No. That doesn't get to hit me 5 times in a row. Because you have hit me with that attack pretty fucking consistently every time you've used it. And that move is supposed to have a very low hit rate. I think that attack has missed me once, and it's been used against me over a dozen times. If it actually has a bad hit rate, then fucking make it act like it. But he didn't really have a reason to go down the toxic god complex path he did. My question is what happened between Prototype 1's ending and Prototype 2, because yes, he failed to stop the nuke, but he didn't fail to stop he didn't fail to stop the virus itself. In fact, he seems to have more or less taken control of the virus. But Blackwatch has also taken a lot of samples and has been using those samples for its own control. Which is a severe issue. That was one thing that Mercer was absolutely correct about, was Blackwatch was definitely committing weapons experiments. Yeah, right, like he would have scored a crit at that possible moment in order to fuck up my ride combo. Thanks, game. Again, his attack did like 400% damage. Okay. I'm gonna try to kill you now. God, those things are aggravating. I do not like fighting Tigrexes in this game. They are given unreasonable amounts of health. Oy. That game has faster and more reactive movement than any of the other Monster Hunter games I've played. It's not. That's the problem. Oh! Agravios! Oh yeah, the Heart Chulo. Hey dickhead, I've been wanting to kick your ass for a while, Mr. Gravios. I need more materials from you. More corpses. I actually thought Prototype 2... I actually thought Prototype 2 was a perfect sequel to Prototype 1, but apparently a lot of people just came out and messed with it. So did I thought it was. Apparently the internet didn't share the same consensus. I also thought it was funny. Fox is just like, I've noticed a pattern of you defending a lot of Arrowhead's decisions. Yeah, you've noticed that pattern. My problem is that you don't ever bother to actually ask why I defend them and have an explanation for why some of the shit that they do by mistake happens. I've noticed that a lot of people on the internet have been making that same mistake. Everybody wants to judge Arrowhead really harshly when they make a mistake, but nobody wants to give them grace and decency when they do the right thing. That's not strictly true right now, actually, because COD's been taking some serious fucking fire. Yeah, Black Ops 7... Black Ops 7 destroyed all the credibility that those studios had. And I mean fucking... Dude, you want to know how bad Black Ops 7 was? Here's the thing, like, no, I'm gonna put this in perspective for you because I feel like there's something you might not also have realized. Not only was Black Ops 7 considered universally one of the worst games ever made, but people go back to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare just to show you how good Infinite Warfare was in comparison to Black Ops 7. I bring that up because a lot of people tried to say Infinite Warfare was shit. And people are going to... They were getting tired of Call of Duty being futuristic but not running whole hog. Like, we had sci-fi AK-47s. Really? Why? If you're gonna create energy weapons and futuristic sci-fi space weaponry, then why wouldn't you go whole fucking hog with it and actually, I don't know, just do something fucking amazing? That's not what they did. They just fucking rehashed the damn AK-47 and reskinned it for the billionth time. Because the AK-47 has to be in every goddamn shooter that exists. I get that it is a very iconic firearm. Here's my problem with the AK-47. In terms of video game capacity, or even real world functionality at this point in its life cycle, that is one of the most overrated goddamn guns ever. And that doesn't just come from me, that comes from people who have had to. I have talked to actual soldiers that have had to use that gun before. And they're like, yes, it's a good fucking firearm. Does it deserve quite as much, you know, of an iconic position in history for its reliability? Fuck yeah. It's a gun that you'll pretty much always be able to shoot when you need it to shoot. Yes, it's infamous. It's infamous because it's overused. Well, not just terrorists. I mean, like there's tons of factions that use it. They use it because it's a gun that can be relied upon when there's a problem. And it's a firearm that still holds up, kinda, even today. I say kinda. Yeah. Yeah, my favorite thing about Metal Gear Solid 4's opening is that Snake is armed with an AK-47. Do you notice how the very first thing he does with it is he tries to cock the damn thing in order to make sure that the gun ratcheting system will actually ratchet the fucking bolt back and forth, and it doesn't ratchet, it jams and immediately breaks? I bring that up for specifically one fucking reason. The AK-47 is famous more than anything for its extreme reliability rather than its extreme overpowered capacity. And I bring that up because an AK-47 is the only gun that Snake has ever picked up that has actively jammed on him. If you go back and look at every other game he has played, or he has been in, that is the only gun he has ever picked up that has jammed when he tried to use it. Literally the only firearm he has ever used that did not fucking work. And it's the most reliable of firearms. The only other weapon he has used that technically didn't work was a gun that had a nanomachine blocker on it. That required he take a specific dose of nanites in order to be able to suppress the signal in order to jam the signal so that the gun would be able to work in his hands. That is literally the only firearm he has ever used, though, that is just straight up fucking jammed and been like, by the way, bro, no. The game really wants me to go after Rudy Basario's monsters, and I really don't want to. I think that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare wasn't necessarily a bad game now that I've seen it.
The path to the
I
village
just
is
didn't really
past the
care for
volcano.
Call of Duty
Let's
by that
keep it
point, so
moving.
I just stopped fucking playing the series well before that. The last Call of Duty I
used to be
played
the
was
one
Black
giving
Ops
directions
3.
to the team. But I'm not complaining. Show us the way, Sarge.
Oh great, Uragon.
It's an Uragon!
This
I
smells trouble.
actually need to kill one of you. What the fuck are you doing, you idiot?
I know this monster like the back of my eye patch. I'm sure of it.
Sarge, behind you!
Don't worry, I'm perfectly capable of drawing its attention away. Hey, whoa, King! It's rolling way more than it normally does. That wasn't my plan.
Time to jump in, buddy!
It'll be a miracle of God if that moronic feline doesn't or inside of a lava bed. Or inside a volcano, one of them. Gotta watch our step. Positive this sword isn't gonna shit. Yeah, it did. You did it to yourself. A lot of people really hated Omega because you had a really harsh timer that kind of made the fight like unnecessarily difficult because you had to kill it within a certain time frame and it was constantly shifting forms and stats. And it was also, yeah, constantly shifting areas. It was an extremely difficult thing for it to fight, or for it to for you to even think down. And when you couple that with an ultra harsh timer, it doesn't really help.
Awaken! Awaken! Awaken!
Oh shit. Damn it, Bobby! I'm gonna kick your ass! You understand me? I'm gonna kick your ass! God damn it, Bobby! Why you gotta be so fucking stupid, Bobby? King of the Hill? King of the Hill's fantastic. Ow! Oh my god, that... I need to stream Bioshock. I know I streamed it, but I don't think I streamed it. Infinite was a good game. The story gets really stupid near the end, I will admit. Particularly the more I looked at it. But the game itself is great. I understand why the story is seen as kind of... I have absolutely no idea. Oh fuck, it's doing the rock song thing. Incursion? That's a roguelike? Oh, Aliens Rogan. I was gonna say, what? What? That's a roguelike? What? Doc and Spartan are the ones that have it. This is somebody going. Oh god. Ow! Ow! That hurt. Okay. You say John Carpenter? John Carpenter is actually known as one of the masters of horror. He has made several horror films. The Thing was considered one of his greatest creations ever, and it is a misunderstood classic to many nowadays, which I am one of many people who agrees with the sentiment that it is a misunderstood classic, because when it originally came out, it was named as some kind of stupid gore porn garden or something like that, and a lot of people really shat on the movie like it was garbage. But not too long after it was released, it started to gain a cult following. I believe the film was released in the 80s, actually. And yeah, and it was badly misunderstood and badly panned by critics and whatnot, and even audiences. Nobody liked this movie when it first came out, really. But yeah, but after some time passed, people took another look at that movie, and they were like, "Holy shit! There was a lot of creative effort in here. There was a lot of depth put into it. There was a lot of real thought in this movie." And the acting performances were incredible. Like, that movie I've seen that movie as a kid and scared the living fuck out of me. When I watched it years later, as an adult, I sat down and watched it by myself in my own house, right? And I was like, holy shit, this movie doesn't scare me anymore. I can see what's fake and I can tell what's not real, but at the same time, it still looks incredible. And the acting performances were some of the greatest acting performances I had ever seen in my life. Kurt Russell really outdid himself, and so did everybody else who supported him in that movie.
Not a scratch. You know I always land on my feet, but now's no time for lollygagging. This path leads to the foot of the volcano.
Okay, let's get moving.
MacReady, and yes,
Aren't you
they made a
coming?
comic series about it. They also made a The Thing video game.
This is as far as I go. Good luck, partner.
Sorry.
I've got a family to look after. Can't take unnecessary risks like I used to. Besides, you got a new partner.
A new partner?
This is the second new partner, Sarge, that he's had since he
Well,
lost
I guess
you.
you're right. Okay,
Go and do all the things we dreamed of, partner. Travel the world.
He's already done
I
it.
will. It's a promise.
Go out there and be positively claudacious and, nothing.
And, formidable feline, right?
Well, look at that. You remember?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Well.
John Carpenter made several films that were considered masterfully terrifying. Ghosts of Mars was a good one.
Claudacious, formidable felines. That's us. Time to head out with my new partner.
Thank you for everything, Orgo.
Until next time,
He
Sarge.
also made 2 video games, neither of which were considered good sellers. He made Clive Barker's Jericho, which was a cool shooter game. I think if that game got the proper ending and development time that it needed, it would have been incredibly amazing. But sadly, the game received neither, and it didn't work out very well as a result. Very sad to report. Which sucks because that is like Jericho has massive Jericho has massive potential to be something unbelievably fucking incredible. And it was actually pretty cool even when it first came out. So. The poor and weak ones. Shiny needle. Talk still. The Thing received a comic book miniseries that follows up the events of what happened to MacReady. There was another comic book miniseries as well on top of that showcased things trying to hide among humans. But for some reason, one of them gets super too aggressive and starts doing really dumb shit. And she kind of exposes them and gets all of them burned alive and killed. they made McCready gets rescued by a group of people. One of them touches the corpse of one of the Thing monsters, and I guess some of the supercell in it is still alive, because right after the guy touches it, within minutes he starts mutating into a Thing, and they had to burn him alive. And then another one, for some reason, just kind of randomly mutates. There's not really an explanation given for why he mutated. That people seem to notice. And that person, when it mutates, it goes completely inhuman and jumps into a helicopter blade while it's still active, causing... Jesus, that critical hit! What the fuck? Causing its bits to get blasted everywhere, which killed it, but also seeded the entire area around them with potential infection. Yeah, so... the creature then... being dead, McCready tries to figure out what's going on afterwards and tries to get out of there. Well, the guy Erskine that originally brought him in there, later, for some strange reason, he turns out to also be infected and begins mutating and slaughtering an entire submarine crew before McCready detonates the reactor core and blows everything to hell on the submarine. And he's left in the water, basically freezing to death. Somehow he survives. It's not explicitly explained how, but he does survive. Again, I'm not... Yeah, I was going to say, probably because he's Kurt Russell. But... Ooh, an Eodrome den. I was actually hoping to come in here and fight the Eodrome. But I will settle for picking one up. The issue with the comics is that they don't really they showcase that these things have a level of super intelligence and intellect, and the Thing does continue to survive at the end of the last comic that McCready is in, because he kills those things, and the things in the city, but one of them escapes barely and is so badly damaged that in order to survive, she morphs into a fish, but she has so little of her essence left at that point that the act of morphing into a fish actually drained what little was left of her memories of her conscious self, and she basically became an instinctual Thing beast after that. That looked like a fish. And that was kind of the cliffhanger ending that comic left on. Oh, look, another Gravios. I am actually glad I got Gravios. In terms of whether or not it's good or bad overall, I honestly don't feel like the comics were that critical to the mythos. And I'll be real, I don't really like the Thing comics because from what I have read about them, they don't really have much of the world. They don't really explain why this parasite is doing what it's doing, and the horror value to me really tapers off quickly when people mutate randomly and into the monster, and there's not really a reason to give it. The Thing also would receive a video game for the PlayStation 2. Yeah, it was a video game simply titled The Thing. It did not sell very well. It did not do very well, and it was not considered a very good game for several reasons. Having watched people play it, it wasn't that the game was poorly finished. It was very largely that the game was poorly released and poorly put together. First of all, Whitley, one running gag from the game, Whitley, the main antagonist, dude's name is literally never spelled the same in any of the subtitle mission dialogues that and half the time his subtitles, when people are discussing him and use his name, they fuck up his name again. So, like that, and that's just a subtitle error. The other issue is that basically every single character that works with you and is supposed to become an ally because the game is built around a squad system, virtually all of them mean literally dick, because literally everybody you work with, if they do not transmogrify into a thing by getting infected during combat, they will transmogrify at a fixed specific interval. And there will be nothing you can do to prevent them from randomly transmogrifying into a thing. Which made a lot of people feel very cheap. Like, how are you supposed to know who's infected and who's not, was the idea. So the occasional scripted infection was something that I feel like, okay, you know what, that kind of makes sense. I don't understand why you want to put that in. In fact, maybe you should. The issue with the scripted infections is that they are not used correctly. It's not just the occasional scripted infection and then at certain points you get separated from your squad or they die. It's everybody is the thing. Everybody except you is a thing. You just don't know when they're going to turn into one. Because even the blood tests that the game provides, for you to be able to figure out if somebody is infected or not when you meet them, they will tell you if somebody is a thing in disguise. They won't tell you if someone is a thing right before the scripted point where they just transmogrify into one randomly and then try to kill you. So a lot of people really weren't appreciative of the game at the time. Particularly when you couple the fact that a lot of the mechanics in it were very haphazard and didn't work very well on the generation of console that they were put on. So, it's not that the thing was a bad was unfinished. It's actually that it was poorly executed. That video game was not very well executed. It received a remaster, which was okay, I guess. I didn't really care. I never played the remaster, and I don't intend to. I might if, I guess, I can get enough requests for people to actually play it, but my Discord server has to actually play it. Requests. Who want to actually make requests, and right now, so far, none of my people in my Discord do. To be fair, I don't interact with the server as much as I should, and I don't have my secretary, who is kind enough to do it for me, interact as much either. But the issue is that game just wasn't really that well put together. And the story was kind of lame. McCready from the film The Thing cameos at the end as the helicopter pilot and saves your dumbass after you kill Whitley, who was using some kind of bizarre government experimental agent to allow him to inject himself with thing cells, but still somehow maintain control of himself, which basically proves to be a lie at the end as he mutates into a gargantuan twisted nightmare horror, and you have to kill him. McCready shows up and saves your character, and then you go off and try and deal with whatever government conspiracy has resulted from the Thing Beast. I was horrifically disappointed with that game's story, largely because I felt like it just could have been done better. It really could have been done better. Mine. There we go. 6 poison knives, okay. I'm gonna have to go back and search for another nitro shroom. Fuck off, Tigrex. I want nothing to do with you. Oh, there's the one that I missed. I believe there were a couple of books that were made to try and continue the story of the Thing somehow. I don't think they ended up being well liked or go anywhere. The Thing also received a late prequel in 2010, I think it was. No, it was a prequel. Because if you recall, no, hold on a second. If you remember in the first movie, I don't know if you've ever actually sat down and seen it, but okay, then I will tell you why the prequel actually makes a lot more sense than you think it does. In the original film, the Americans go and find if you'll remember at the beginning of the film, the Americans see a bunch of Swedish people shooting at a dog, and they think that it's just a regular dog, but it's actually the Thing. What ended up happening is those 2 Swedish people were from their own research station. They were trying to kill that dog because that dog was the last bit of the Thing from attacking their station. Yeah, and it did attack their station. So the prequel film is about the Swedes who found it, the actual station it was in, and the frozen life form before they brought it back to their base, and it defrosted and started killing people and eating them. Probably because it's a fucking parasitic organism. That's
What's
what it
he
does.
doing here?
Perhaps he's one of the Rathalos that disappeared.
Parasitic organisms don't
too.
usually need a reason other than I'm
What could
hungry.
have happened?
Yes and no. Not exactly.
Quick, brother!
A voice. Can you hear it?
What the fuck?
Huh?
Wait!
hell is that? What does it want with the Rathalos? Is it eating it?
That's the monster Red saw.
How do you know that? You never saw the monster Red saw, woman. It looks like a giant worm. Oh my god, and it has a Venus flytrap. It looks like one of those caustic worms from Age of Wonders 4. Raga! Raga! Oh, you son of a bitch. You are not eating my dragon! Surprise, bitch! Is that who I think it is on that Rathian? Oh my god, it is.
That was a close one. Everyone okay?
It's the dumbass who almost destroyed the world. How you doing, Dillweed, whose name is currently escaping me?
Cheval!
Cheval. He almost did, too.
Oh, is this another friend of yours now?
We're not just friends, we're best buds! Me and Cheval go way back!
Yeah, way back to when he was a douchebag.
Right, Cheval?
Yeah. Anyway, that thing that pulled the Rathalos into the pit, was that a monster?
Yes, but we still haven't discovered its true form.
What the fuck do you mean its true form? That wasn't no hallucination I just saw.
Its true form?
The strange phenomena happening around the world, all the destruction, that monster is responsible for it.
The Hunters and the Scriveners are blaming it on Ratha! But it's not his fault!
I know. Lilia told me.
Huh? You talked to Lilia?
Yeah. I stopped by the Scrivener's Lodge. She's the one who asked me to find you.
Really? She was worried about us?
She felt guilty for not believing in your bond with your Monstie, even after everything she knows.
So she's finally come around, huh? I knew she wouldn't let us down.
Yeah, it's just the fact that it's too little too late for it to really have much bearing on the story or for me to give a shit. Lilia can eat a dick.
She said, seeing you fly away with Ratha reminded her of old times.
Yeah, I'm glad she remembered old times and actual thinking and being a person and human over her duty, her job to the Scriveners. A little bit late for me to give a fuck, dude. I'm sorry, but her behavior pissed me off beyond belief.
You know, we've seen firsthand the kind of miracles riders and Monsties can accomplish together.
The fact that Cheval is actually more likable to me right now than she was is kind of testament to how poorly she was written in those moments. Because, her writing was a direct contradiction from what she was saying and what she was doing. She wanted to be able to keep Ratha safe and keep the world safe and study him. But, here's the thing, she knew for a fact I was his writer and I was the one keeping him calm and quiet and okay and not into a violent, murderous, rampaging monster. She took him away from me. The one thing keeping him level, and she took the fucking safety away from the nuclear bomb. That's why Lilia was a colossal idiot to me, and why she has not redeemed herself in the slightest, even after sending Cheval to come find me. You, objectively, out of every character in any one of these damn games, would have been the idiot who would know better than to do that. And you still made that mistake. Cheval, at least, has calmed the fuck
Miracles.
down and is actually
Yeah,
doing things the
you're
right way now.
Amonsti knows what's in their rider's heart. That's the reason why Ratha comes to your aid. He cares about you.
Of course he does.
What are you going to do now?
I care about him, and I've proven my loyalty to him.
I'm in the middle of tracking a Nergigante.
A Nergigante. Oh, shit.
A Nergigante. Like when Red.
That was not fun.
But why are you after it?
I've fought one of those before. It's not
It's
fun.
been attacking settlements lately. There have been quite a few casualties.
That's awful.
Ooh.
So you're looking for revenge?
No. I learned a long time ago to stop hating monsters.
You used to hate them?
It's a long story.
Ina, honey, you're asking a lot of questions, I understand, but you're also asking a lot of the wrong questions.
Let's just say, I let my emotions get the better of me, and lost track of what was really important.
You were an angry child with a shitload of grief and no way to vent your anger. Trust me, kid, I get it. I understand why you were a dickhead, okay? I do. It doesn't justify you almost destroying the world because you got a divine dragon corrupted, but that's not the point. You were an idiot who was misguided, and your grief and rage were misused and manipulated. A bit like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, only he's actually written way better than this kid is. Which, to be fair, Scorpion's much older than him. There's a lot more to work with.
I see. Do you have an idea where you'll look next?
No. I've kinda hit a wall.
Well,
Yeah.
we're heading to Nuate Village to find out about the Raisewing Ratha legend. Why don't you tag along, Cheval?
Nuate? I've only heard rumors about it. Is it somewhere around here?
I mean, my foot could be somewhere around your face, but that wouldn't exactly help us find Nuate, Cheval.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. You don't mind me coming?
Not at all. We'd be happy to have you.
Sounds like a plan. Let's hit the road.
Sure. I'll fight alongside Cheval, why not? And he's still got his old Rathian. That's exactly who I thought that was as soon as I saw that Rathian. Get back on the Gnargacuga, idiot. The only thing that kind of infuriates me about all the story cutscenes, the story cutscenes don't act like I have any other monsters. Except Ratha. Yeah, that's infuriating as fuck. Oh no! No! Oh god! It's the fart monkey! It's the green fucking... It's the green fucking Kongalawa. I don't want. Oh, erase that monster from existence and I wouldn't be sad. No, I'm sticking to that statement.
From what Sarge said, the village should be in sight any minute now. But,
There doesn't seem to be a village here at all.
oh? Hey, what's up, Ratha? You sense something?
Oh. Let's go.
This is...
Oh. I like how auto advances on and half the time it just doesn't work.
This is not a place easily stumbled upon by travelers. How did you find your way here?
Okay, that Wyverian's voice acting is very bad, which is weird because everybody else's is acceptable.
This Rathalos led the way.
My friends are riders. We've come seeking knowledge about Rathalos lore.
Riders? Led here by a Rathalos, you say?
Please, leave this to us. We do not yet know if these outsiders mean us harm.
Worry not. You are with me as well. Your journey so far has not been an easy one. And yet, the end is not within sight. Now, young riders, you wish to hear of a legend?
We heard you have a mural depicting a Rathalos with terrible destructive power. We think it may give us a hint as to what's happening in the world right now.
What gives you that idea, child?
It's the only clue we have. Please, we need to find the truth before everything is brought to ruin.
Ruin, you say? And you? Do you share their goal?
Me? I'm looking for a Nergigante that might have been around here.
You wish to hunt this monster?
Not if I can avoid it. I just want to know why it's been acting this way. Monsters don't just attack villages for no reason. But that's exactly what this Nergigante's been doing. But why?
Huh. Quite an interesting human you are. Very well, child. You may see the mural and decide for yourselves what the legend holds.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, the way there is open to none.
Huh? I don't get it. What gives?
So we can see it, but we can't see it.
Sorry to interrupt, but the Nergigante was spotted at the volcanic gates not long ago.
And there, you see, is the reason we cannot access the shrine. Our moral code forbids us from fighting monsters.
Okay, does your moral code give you bad voice acting on top of that? Because holy shit, lady, you sound so monotone.
Would you allow us to deal with it instead?
You may certainly try. Well, child?
I'll go too.
Are you sure about this, Umlana?
We cannot remain impartial observers forever. Perhaps the time has come for us to embrace new customs.
New customs?
Rathalos have disappeared from these lands as well.
So, the dead one we saw was...
In order to put its soul to rest, it is imperative to find the truth that you seek. Come to the village. I will show you how to reach the volcanic gates from there.
So, you guys have weapons, but you're not allowed to fight monsters. How the fuck do you manage to maintain a village? You can't run when it's in your village. They must have a way of keeping monsters out of it without violence. Or something like this would not make any sense. You may also use our stables as you see fit. Oh, you have stables for monsters. That's interesting. Okay. Whatever. Upon reaching Nuate, a village shrouded in secrecy, you are told of the location of the monument by the village elder Umlana. A Nergigante appears as if in an attempt to prevent you from finding out the truth. For Ina, seeing this monster again brings up painful memories of Red's death.
What? Go on.
What do you need?
spider webs? Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Oh yeah, threaten the one person who's able to help you. That's a great idea. I need to go beat the hell out of a bunch of shakalaka. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the return of the shakalaka. They were also in the original Monster Hunter stories. They were a pathetic enemy in that game, so I don't imagine they'll be that much fun in this game.
What do you need?
Need to get some Turga honey. Okay.
Wonderful.
Fight to harass Troy? I am not even remotely going to entertain that conversation. I need to kill an Emerald Kongalala to get the healer's composition 4. Well, I guess I should say something about that conversation, even though I absolutely don't want to. I refuse to accept a droid fighting for quote-unquote equal rights as canon in Star Wars. That makes absolutely no goddamn sense. It was dumb then, it's dumb now. It was dumb when it was thought of, and whoever thought it up, I'm not kidding, whoever even threw that out as a suggestion in the story should have immediately been fired.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, that's not really the same thing.
Welcome. How can I help?
Programming like that, even in droids, is also somewhat feasible. Here's the thing. Droids are machines that are programmed to do specific things for specific reasons. So for a droid to suddenly start screaming about how it wants equal rights and needs equal rights and deserves equal rights is really, really fucking dumb. Like, really fucking dumb. And, yeah, wanting to be respected for their service, appreciated for their service, thought of well for their service, that's a very different fucking story. That makes sense because the droids in that universe are very clearly programmed with emotions into their AI cores, or at least some of them are. And those droids wanting to be treated appropriately, maintenanced appropriately, managed appropriately, yeah, I could absolutely see why they would want to be treated fairly. And maybe not necessarily paid for their services, but at least properly maintenanced for them and able to work under appropriate conditions that would allow a droid to get what it needs whenever it's not able to do that. Like, if that was how droids were handled in that universe when it came to wanting a little bit of freedom and a little bit of respect, that would have been fine. But trying to have a droid SJW, which is what that was, and I don't care who says what, I really don't. Like, I'm not gonna turn this into a gigantic rant, don't worry. But I don't care who says what about this. A droid social justice warrior trying to get equal rights for droids when you are a machine that is not programmed to have rights, just do what you're told, not only does not make sense, it's asinine and it's insulting. To the viewers and to the creature and to the droid itself. And you might wonder how it's either of those things. My response to that is very emphatic, it's very simple. It's both of those things because you are presuming a machine has a level of individuality and individual thought process that it straight up cannot have unless somebody programs it to be a social justice warrior. Which is why that was such a massive problem for everybody who watched that particular thing, is because it was insulting to people at large. Like, we were all watching this, and it's like, who would willingly program? I don't care if I sound incredulous or ridiculous at this point. Who would willingly program a droid to have social justice mentality? Nobody. Absolutely goddamn nobody. Yeah, like that's basically my thought process on that, and that's why that was a really dumb idea. But yes, move along. Don't want to linger on that too much. But yeah, like, I understand a lot of people were very curious as to why that was considered a really dumb decision. Now you like. Yeah, or maybe you forgot for some reason, or maybe you don't know at all. Now you do. This is why it was considered an incredibly dumb decision to a lot of people. It doesn't make sense. It never made sense. And yes, I understand. It's a galaxy far, far away. It's fiction. Being fiction, and this is kind of my main argument to anybody who wants to be this dumb, being fiction is not a goddamn excuse to be stupid, and not necessarily an excuse to encourage something like that actively makes not only no sense, but very clearly shouldn't have been made at all. I'm gonna leave it lie at that, but that is why I feel the way I do about it, and I'm pretty sure that's why most people felt about it. Dolphin? What? What? Like, what did you just say? Oh!
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. It's also extremely disappointing that the OG Battlefront remasters were handled so absolutely goddamn poorly. Like, it was very clear that EA was just trying to milk a tiny little injection of cash out of it. It had to be under EA's okaying because they're the ones that actually own the...
You're here?
Yes, yes.
Amazing.
What game? Oh, yeah, no, Star Wars Outlaws was just terrible. No, being a... God damn it. Yes, but being a Ubisoft game is not why it failed. That's my problem with what you just said. No. Okay, listen, I've watched a few videos on it too. I am, and I'm not taking away how bad it was. I'm not trying to take away from how bad it was, because it was fucking awful. But, being a Ubisoft game is not why that game was shit. It was shit because Ubisoft did not put the proper level of effort into it. And the reason I say that is because Ubisoft has made a lot of really good games. They have. In the past, they've made a lot of really good games, and even recently, they've managed to make some decent titles. I won't say they've made great ones, because they haven't really been able to make a game that's held my interest for longer than 30 minutes for a really long time, and that's kind of... From what I heard, their Avatar game functioned fine. Like, that's just from what I heard. That's... Yeah, that sounds really weird. I don't know what to say about that, because I hadn't heard anything about that yet. I don't really know what to comment about on that because I hadn't heard any of that. Personally, I'm kind of weirded out by that as a reality because that doesn't really make much sense from what I know. Star Wars Outlaws was just terribly put together. From everything that I've seen, the game was politically motivated because it wanted to get into the fucking culture controversy. And it was also incredibly poorly optimized, incredibly poorly put together. It felt like Ubisoft not only rushed the project, but Ubisoft just kind of spaghetti-coated the fucking thing. Which is weird. Considering Ubisoft really needed the money from that in order to succeed. And it didn't. Like, they failed. They fumbled that ball so hard. I really don't know what to say about that or do with that. And I think they do that because they think, and this is what I think the issue is with a lot of corporations these days, because a lot of corporations are getting very narcissistic and rude. I think the vast majority of them at this point just think they're untouchable, and they can do whatever they want, and people just kind of have to eat it. And they don't realize... What they don't realize is that no, we do not actually have to eat your shit if we don't want it. Particularly at this particular point in gaming history, we're sitting in a golden era of video games. Even if you're a gamer who's been gaming as long as I have, since pretty much the advent of video games, there are still tons of games for you to try, and there are tons of small studios making really good stuff every day. That I feel like a lot of these big name companies just do not realize how much money they are about to lose because we don't have to eat garbage. We don't have to tolerate garbage. I was never really that into Titanfall. I played Titanfall 2 when it was free. It was okay. Still didn't hold me. I didn't even play the campaign. I did only because my friends were insisting that I would be able to get into it quickly and easily. And they were not as right as I thought. The main reason I got it was to be able to play co-op with my friends. I didn't care about the story of Titanfall. Although I heard the story to Titanfall 2 was hilarious. No, I mean hilarious in a good way. You don't understand. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I've been Savage Hound Dusk. I'll see you guys next time on Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings of Ruin.